Poseidon is one of the most well-known of all the Greek gods. He's the god of seas, storms, earthquakes, and horses. And so for any analysis of Poseidon to be complete, all of these have to be brought together in a cogent way. But to complicate things, we have to talk about the characters of Hephaestus and Neptune as well. Poseidon, Hephaestus, doesn't matter what Neptune you dance to. These are all the same fundamental representation of the positive electric charge. What does the name tell us? Where do we find the character? And what powers or actions did they take? Shall be the fulcrum of our analysis today. You're not going to hear this anywhere else, folks. Smash that subscribe button and welcome to Mythology 107. Poseidon, Hephaestus, and Neptune, the powerful, the Misshapen, and the Rapists. It seems overly obvious to say the pose of Poseidon means we're dealing with a positive polarity. But the pose of Poseidon and the pose of positive are cognate, meaning they represent the same thing, which is to pose something or put it into a position. Pose stands not opposite of neg, or the word negative, but stands opposite the word natural. There is a natural state, 0, and a pose state, 1. Natural, posed. And since Poseidon and all similar characters are male, we can say that he's electric. And so we can say with some confidence that what we're dealing with here with Poseidon is the positive electric charge as a start. The word is best cut in half because I Don is simply a way of saying I am the Don. Like a mafia kingpin, he is the Don of the positive electric force, or the positive charge.
You spend time with your family?
Duh.
Good.
There are various descriptions of Poseidon being the child of Kronos and his sister wife Rhea, both of which have been translated in my previous work as being a Z-pinch and the corresponding magnetic ring. Kronos, Rhea. If there is a moving current through a Z-pinch, it will induce a corresponding magnetic ring. Saying Poseidon is the child of Kronos and Rhea is a way of saying that when these two appear, a third player, the positive electric charge, Poseidon, occurs. In the same way Kronos and Rhea are the parents of Poseidon, Zeus and Hera are the parents of Hephaestus, also translated previously as the Z-pinch that occurred after Kronos. Hephaestus as a character of Poseidon is important, because the name itself gives us definition around information we already have about our sun. The most common element discharged in the solar wind is dihydrogen, two atoms of hydrogen which naturally bond together despite both having a positive charge. Because of this, the name translation gives us great fidelity in the nature of Hera's sun. The H indicates hydrogen, and the E indicates the one electron of hydrogen. We call this hydrogen 1, and this atom has a positive charge. Positive charge, Poseidon. Hydrogen with a positive charge is called the character Hephaestus. Hephaestus is more specifically what would happen when one hydrogen molecule bonds with another hydrogen molecule, which it will always do. Quote, by forming a single molecule rather than two atoms, each electron can move around both protons, which gives it more space to move in while still having a low potential energy. Hephaestus is the molecule of dihydrogen, grouping together to produce a lower potential energy, a misshapen cloud of plasma that stays self-attracted. It creates a fest. Today, the word is more commonly spelled fest, and we know these to be gatherings of like but loosely affiliated groups within a confined area. Who's at the fest? Us, in pairs and groups. Hephaestus. Hephaestus was an ugly, hairy, and misshapen baby, which is a decent characterization of a field or a cloud of static electric plasma. Like most clouds of hydrogen in the universe, the field is not well organized and is called sea foam in some mythology relating to the origin of Aphrodite. Not only is the positive static electric field ugly and misshapen, but he can make the hairs on your arms stand up. Hephaestus was a hairy baby with a positive static electric charge. This brings us to the Romanized version of the story, which used the character Neptune. Neptune is a very interesting name because Nep is masculine, male meaning electric, and is associated with Nepots from the Indo-European language meaning a descendant. These two male descendants are the atoms of dihydrogen, with the descendant simply meaning one atom of hydrogen was formed before the other by Hera. When they meet the atom of oxygen, they tune into the covalent bonds, and together they form water. Neptune is a description of the bonding that occurs between dihydrogen and oxygen. They tune into the frequency of water.
Maybe you should check out this trident.
Where do we find these gods? Well, Poseidon is the god of the ocean, and oceans act like capacitors. That is, they store the energy from the sun, causing them to warm, and then they release it in the form of storms. This storage capacity of the ocean is the reason that Poseidon is the god of the oceans, and not the oceans themselves. Poseidon is the positive electric charge that causes the currents and weather patterns of our planet. He is the low and high pressure, which is why he is the god of storms, and not the storm itself.
Hi, Neptune.
Hi, Will. That's my friend Will. Will Rain. Get it?
Likewise, Poseidon is the positive electrical potential that builds up between two capacitive plates of the Earth. He is the pressure. He is the voltage, which then discharges, causing the earthquake. This is the anodic and cathodic clapping of thunder and lightning within the Earth's crustal capacitive plates, causing the earthquakes. Poseidon is not the earthquake. He's the god of the earthquake. He's the positive electrical potential that builds up.
Hi, Neptune.
Hi, Callie. That's my friend Callie. California. Get it?
We get more definition when we look at this from Hephaestus, who is the god of volcanoes and volcanism. He's not the volcano. He's the positive electrostatic force that discharges the volcano, and not the volcano itself. He's the cause of the discharge. He's the god of the volcano.
That Philippines volcano, you've probably been seeing some of these pictures light up your social media. Just some incredible images, and they've raised the alert level for this island. They've evacuated thousands of people, but look at that lightning. Yeah, you maybe didn't know this, but you get a lot of lightning in some of these volcanic eruptions for the same reason we get lightning in a thunderstorm. Whenever you have particles bumping into each other, rubbing off each other, lightning is basically static electricity. So as long as you have stuff moving at high speeds, bouncing off each other, you can separate those charges between negative and positive, and you get some amazing lightning shows. But boy, does that look pretty ominous. They had to.
We can triangulate all of these forces on January 15th, 2022, in the Tonga eruption, when a coronal mass ejection hit the Earth right over the Pacific Ocean midday. The ocean stored the energy in a high-pressure delta Y, a triangle of high pressure, visible in the sky during the day. At sunset, the positive pressure turned negative, and the delta discharged at sunset as the termination zone went overhead. Poseidon charged the ocean. High pressure created a high voltage situation stored in a trident called the delta Y. This delta Y was formed in the Venus apocalypse and still actively stores charge today, just as it did January 15th, 2022. Poseidon's trident isn't flat, it's three-sided, and by sunset it was full, and then it discharged. Poseidon had a daughter, Irene. Ire is better arranged as ire, as in the modern-day spelling of Irene. Ire means wrath, and the Proto-Indo-European translation for Reen is an internal part of the body. What else is the wrath of the internal part of the body of the earth producing, if not a volcano? Poseidon had a daughter, Irene. Say hello to a modern-day manifestation of Irene, everybody. Poseidon is the god of the oceans, and we best pay attention to that reality. What other actions did Poseidon take? There were lots, but to start telling them would be to tell the story of Venus's ultimate demise, and we don't want to tell that story just yet. But both Poseidon and Neptune are charged with raping their respective Venus characters. The positive electric charge overwhelmed Venus. Poseidon raped Venus. But more specifically, Neptune raped Venus. Neptune, meaning water, and she fell to earth.
Okay, so we covered god of the sea, god of earthquakes, god of storms. Where does the horse fit in here?
How else would you describe power except as horsepower?
True.
You're not going to hear this anywhere else, folks. Click that like, share, and subscribe button. Leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. Peace out.
Whoa, that was really Hephaestus' fault. Either that or the burrito I had this afternoon.
This is why I didn't take you to Wavalina. I can't take you anywhere.